All right, we've got our pre-show look ahead at the afternoon show, 2 to 6, Monday to Friday, 97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5thefanatic.com, and NBC Sports Philadelphia. I'm Connor Thomas, Ricky Vitalico, and we're going to react to everything we asked for to happen from last night's game with the Phillies.
Yeah.
Kind of wild how we talked about the bullpen, the defense, and the lack of home runs. And last night they go perfect in the bullpen.
Yep.
They had 3 bombs. And no errors.
And you get a Schwarbaum,
Yeah.
You get a JT homer. I mean, those two guys, if they start heating up, I mean, obviously that's run production for the Phillies. But, I mean, as a whole, I think that's the whole snowball effect. You know, the one thing you always talk about in baseball is getting on a roll. You hear guys go, well, we just got to get going, got to get on a roll. And all that means is gaining confidence.
Right.
And, you know, as I said, I think the bullpen could be worked out. I think things could happen in the bullpen where everybody starts throwing the baseball well. It just takes time. And sometimes it could take 2 games for one guy. It could take a month for another guy.
Yeah.
As long as you have enough guys that are going in a positive route, I think you're fine in the bullpen. But the home runs, I love home runs.
I know you do. Well,
There's
you love them
nothing
now.
better.
You didn't love them when you played. But,
No, I hated them when I played. I used to get a sore neck.
well, you didn't give up too many.
Yes, I did.
Come on.
Yeah, I did.
But you're not giving up any anymore. We can cheer for him now. So the other thing that we're cheering for is Ranger Suarez's return. He's going to make the start Sunday against the Diamondbacks at Citizens Bank Park. Good to have him back. Makes for a tricky situation with the rotation that we're going to talk about. And it's not just about Sunday. It's not just about the month of May. What they do now is also going to have effects on what they do when Andrew Painter eventually comes up. This is one of the big decisions of the season that the organization is going to have to make.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, do they go to a 6-man rotation? I don't think that's ever worked anywhere.
Really?
And I'm just trying to spitball and think about it. And you know, teams like the Marlins have tried it at different points. It doesn't work. It never works. Guys, number one, you have to think of it from a financial standpoint with the Phillies.
Mm-hmm.
You're paying Aaron Nola a lot of money. You're paying Christopher Sanchez a lot of money. Taijuan Walker a lot of money. And Zach Wheeler, a ton of money.
Yeah.
So why would you want to go on every 6 days?
Yeah.
If you think about it, when you have Wheeler, Nola, I'm in this mode thinking that Nola has gotten over the hump. If you have Wheeler, Nola, and Christopher Sanchez going as well as they could, why in the world would you ever go to a 6-man rotation? So that's my number one look at what could happen in the rotation. Number 2 is who's out.
Yeah, because if you send somebody to the bullpen, somebody's got to go down. And you also have to decide who goes to the bullpen. There's conflicting thoughts on who that could be.
But don't you think, the guy who goes down the bullpen, the writing could be on the wall? I mean, you have Hernandez out there. You have Ruiz out there. And they just picked up a new guy, by the way, who actually was dealing in AAA wherever he came from. I forgot right now.
Texas Rangers.
The Texas Rangers. He had 2 runs in 11 2/3 innings. That's a pretty good start to the season. But right now, you'd probably send one of those 2 guys out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know their waiver situation, but I'll look that up for the show. And then Taijuan Walker, though, as a reliever.
Well, they tried it last year. He wasn't awful, but he was not awful compared to one of the worst starter seasons we've seen.
I want you to think about this. What role is he actually going to play?
I mean, I guess you need a middle reliever guy if you need someone to get through a 6th, maybe a 7th inning.
So he's going to jump over. You would think that he would jump over Ruiz and Hernandez.
Yes, and Tanner Banks if they look, because Tanner Banks has kind of been that middle inning, multiple inning guy.
Tanner Banks, oddly enough, gets people out. I don't know how he does it.
He either gets people out or he's giving up 500-foot home runs, and there's no in between for him. I feel
but his numbers look pretty good, is what I'm saying. It's just odd. It's odd because you look at this guy and you're like, oh, this isn't going to go well.
No, but it's very interesting because you are a guy who said just yesterday on the show, there are dudes in the bullpen that could be fixed. So who do you give up on too early? Or is there an interesting theory?
Number one, they're not going to give up on Romano. They can't.
Right.
He's got a contract. It's an $8 million contract.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to give up on. Kirkland, they're definitely not giving up on.
Well,
you think they're just going to give up on?
We have an interesting theory from one Ray Dunn that will be brought up on our show. We're going to steal it from middays.
You're going to hold it for the show?
I am going to hold it for the show, but we will talk about Kirkering. And that's something that could be a sneaky good move for the Phillies if they do it. It won't be all Phillies, though. A lot of rotation talk, a lot of reaction.
Do I smell a trade you're talking about?
A trade? No.
Kirkering involved in a trade? Maybe?
Absolutely not. Not a trade. But
see what I mean? I don't know this part, so I'm kind of diving in, hoping to
can't play all your cards pre-show. We are also going to get into some Eagles conversation because I found some interesting numbers in the ESPN article about the pay differential between the Eagles defense and the offense, and also the Eagles defense and the average cost of the defense in the NFL. So we're going to talk about how steady this defense is set up, and we're also going to look at the individual players that could make it the cream of the crop in the NFL for the foreseeable future. How steady is the defense?
It should be very steady. I mean, when you think about it, you're talking about young. Mm-hmm. I mean, this team is very young, and on defense, it's spectacular. They're going to have to, you know what, you talk about how much they're making now. Yeah. You give this defense about 3.5, 4 years, it's going to be an expensive defense if they keep the defense the way it is, because obviously Cooper DeJean's going to make a ton. Mm-hmm. Quinyon Mitchell, big time money he's going to make. You have two guys that are going to take over at corner and possibly at safety.
Yeah.
That could end up being a month.
It could.
Blankenship. I mean, it's going to end up being
Jalen Carter's going to make like $200 million himself.
That's going to be a joke.
So for now,
that's going to hurt the cap.
It will. And the question is, how much can you get him? Nolan Smith's another one. Good call there, Dylan.
Lots
so
of
for
money.
Now, they're inexpensive. And we're also going to turn that into...
But they're good.
They are good. How much do you have to capitalize on them being inexpensive before that starts to pay off? So the Eagles' defense is in a good spot, but they're also in one that may say, oh, okay, let's take advantage of the window we got because it won't be here forever. We're also going to get into our weird and wild 5 o'clock hour, as we always do. We got to check in on a Hall of Fame head coach because we have not talked about this on the show yet, but I need Bill Belichick to blink twice if he's all right.
This guy is out of his mind. Are you kidding? By the way, first of all, he's over his skis.
Yeah.
Because that shouldn't happen, ever. This guy is saggy old man.
Yeah.
You know what? Savannah likes to call me an old man. I'm not that guy. That guy picked up a 20-something-year-old. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and she's running his life now, which
is wrong to start with. I don't like that. I don't like anybody. I have a problem with that, as a matter of fact.
Unless he's giving up control. And here, I'm not the one to judge. If you want her to run your stuff, that's fine.
But she like 10? This is a question, and I'm going with this in the business sense.
Yes.
Is she taking over as his agent?
It kind of feels like that. It feels like she's in charge of everything.
So he's paying her that.
Yeah, and I wonder what in the world is going on.
We're getting some laughs from Dylan right now.
Dylan's excited to hear the show.
Well, no, I know why he just said that. I know why he laughed.
Yeah,
because he's thinking, yes, he's paying her to be the girlfriend too.
Yeah, it's Bill Belichick. Maybe he's got game. But we're going to talk about that.
He's got nothing.
We're also going to do a little look in at the NBA playoffs because the Lakers got bounced last night after making one of the most shocking trades in NBA history, acquiring Luka Doncic.
Those two monsters could not get it done.
Not even close. They're bounced in the first round by the Timberwolves, who were a mess all year. Even though the Sixers aren't in, we are going to keep up a little bit on what's going on with the playoffs because it gives you an idea. If the Sixers are in contention next year, let's say they get a top 3 pick, we're going to have an idea of who the teams are to look into. Ricky wants one.
I want one.
We'll capture the flag.
You know, we always think the NBA thing is kind of shady as it is. I think this one may be shaded towards the Sixers.
You think they owe us one?
They definitely owe us at least one.
They owe us a couple. On top of that, we're going to have some great guests today. We're going to talk to Michael Barkan coming up at 6:45. Of course, you see him all over NBC Sports Philadelphia pre- and post-game for basically everything.
Let's try 3:25, right? Not 6:25.
No, 3:45.
3:45.
Yeah, that's what I said, right?
He said 6:45.
Yeah, we'll have to check the tape. I'm pretty sure I said 3:45. And then this one I know I have right. We're going to talk to Rob Motti of the AP at 4:25. Covers the NFL in general. Also previously working here in Philadelphia. What's going on with the NFL offseason and what do we have to keep our eyes on next? Because it is kind of a slow time for football, but we know there's always something right around the corner. So what's up next in the NFL offseason? What's going on with the Phillies rotation? And I mean, do we just have to ask the Phillies to do just what we want them to do? Because we requested a perfect game last night and we just about got one.
How about we request a real perfect game tonight?
From Taiwan Walker? That would complicate things on what's going on with the rotation.
If he throws a perfect game, what would you do?
I'd eat this hat. He's not throwing a perfect game tonight. But we're giving you a perfect show coming up here, 2 to 6.
And Silvana will be on with us.
Of course you will be. NBC Sports Philadelphia, 97.5 The Fanatic, and 97.5thefanatic.com. Talk to you in just a little bit.
Hey, I want to thank you guys for watching, listening in. I want you to like, subscribe, do what you have to do to kind of stay on focus with us. Also, we also have plenty of other content that goes on here on YouTube. So go to that, like that, subscribe to that. And also you can catch us on the afternoon show, 2 to 6, Monday through Friday, 97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5thefanatic.com, and NBC Sports Philadelphia.